Are you tired of failing your tier tests? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a full breakdown on how to get low tier 3 in Crystal PvP. I'll be covering everything you need to get low tier 3, such as mechanics, keybinds, kit, and game sense techniques. Whether you're just trying to get low tier 3 or even pass eval, if you follow this guide to the T, I can almost guarantee you will do better on your next test. But enough with the app, let's get into it. Your kit is probably one of the most important things when it comes to eval. Here is my kit, but what makes it special? Well, first and most importantly, always use double blast prod. If you don't, you're basically asking to fail. The initial switch can be pretty hard from prod to double blast prod, but trust me, you will get used to it and it is so much better. Next, I use a knockback 2 sword. Now, before you absolutely flame me, let me justify it. If you don't already know, most tier 2s use knockback 2 because in holes it gives you plenty of advantages, such as being able to hit your opponent onto a ledge, which can lead to several pops, hit your opponent far enough away to spam safe anchors, and lastly, it just gives your opponent more airtime, which leads to easier detaps. The switch can be really weird at first, but it will help so much in the future. Another thing that's becoming meta is thorns, but I don't personally use it unless it's high tier 3 plus fights. My kit also has a little bit of other things which are nice, like all the utilities you'll need, an extra stack of glowstone for longer fights, and obviously all the regular stuff. It also complies with all tier list rules, so you're good. As for mechanics, I'm first going to go over all the basic mechanics you need just in general to even consider getting low tier 3. First, you need to know how to detap, anchor, and totem very consistently. If you manage to get these down, congrats, you're already at least low tier 4 skill, but there's still other mechanics that are very useful. One of my personal favorites being safe anchoring and obby anchoring. Safe anchors provide the benefit of being able to anchor whilst not popping yourself but only your opponent. Obby anchoring is typically only used when you know you and your opponent are about to trade safe anchors. If there's only one mechanic I would suggest anyone to get fast at, it's safe anchoring, just because of how versatile and easy it is. Another mechanic I would suggest learning is hit detap anchoring. Because opponents are always in double blast prod, they're basically unable to double pop. This technique provides a guaranteed way to always double pop your opponent. It's also what drdonut uses very frequently to kill his opponents. And honestly, if you can do these mechanics really well, you will be able to get low tier 3. If you want a more in-depth guide on even more mechanics, check out my advanced mechanics video. But there is something we still gotta cover. Game sense is the most important thing when it comes to your tier test, and it is more important than mechanics. So I'm first going to go over all the game sense techniques you will need during your test. First of all, if you're losing the initial whole fight, don't be afraid to pearl out to recollect yourself. The start of a whole fight can determine the outcome of the round, so it's important to always have a good start. This means you should also slow fall your tester before taking any holes. Additionally, if you're winning the initial whole fight and your tester pearls out to regear, take your time to regear as well. You're already winning, so it's okay to take some time to regear. I've seen so many players hard aggro their tester when they're winning and end up taking a bad hole and losing. Now, another thing to consider is when you get below 8 totems, start using your shield to block attacks. It's important to switch to a defensive playstyle once you're low on totems, because now your objective is to drain your tester's lead. This means only taking holes you know you're going to win, ledge dashing, and safe anchoring a lot. You want to pop your testers more times than yourself. If you have better mechanics than your tester and you know that, it's okay to play a bit more aggro. But that doesn't mean just spam anchors and pop yourself. No, I mean play aggro but smart. If you want a deeper insight on how high tier 3s play, check the description on this video where I have a 30-minute uncut video of pure gameplay you can study up on. If you also want a free coaching session from a low tier 2, join my Discord for a chance to win. But anyways, the general idea when it comes to your tier tests is to play smart where you pop your tester as much as possible whilst minimalizing the pops to yourself. Now look, I'm not an expert on keybinds. In fact, here are mine. A lot of people say they're bad, but I can give you some tips to make your keybinds way better. When it comes to detapping and anchoring, you want them to be on 2 different fingers. For example, I press Q for my obby with my ring finger and E for my crystal with my index finger. This means I can switch to my obby and crystals way faster. Same goes for my anchoring binds. Now, some keybinds I see so many people neglect are your toteming binds. You want your 3 keybinds for toteming, which are your inventory bind, your hotbar totem bind, and your swap offhand bind. All of these binds should be on different fingers to maximize toteming speed. For example, I have my inventory bind as shift for my pinky, my hotbar totem is F for my index, and my offhand totem is my mouse button. Since they are all 3 different fingers, it speeds up my toteming drastically, but don't copy my binds. Everyone is different, so find binds that suit you. All I'm doing is giving you tips to make your keybinds better. Lastly, I'm going to go over a bunch of general tips that will help you speed up your training by so much. When it comes to practicing, always play with your eval kit. That means 14 totems max, whether you're playing rekits, whole, or flat. This gets you used to the feeling of toteming with only 14 totems, which helps so much during your tier test. As for mentality, I highly suggest tier testing on fake tier lists to recreate the feeling of tier testing normally. This really helped me with my nerfs, and I know it will help you too. Also, once your cooldown is up, try testing immediately after. A lot of players say, oh, I don't want to test unless I'm sure I'm getting low tier 3. But no, you shouldn't. There isn't any harm in testing as soon as possible, because you're either going to stay the same tier you are right now or rank up. And who knows, you might end up peaking and get low tier 3. Another thing I like to do when I'm tier testing is I usually get into a call with some of my friends that I get some coaching while I'm testing, and it helps with my nerfs. Finally, the last tip I can give you is to touch grass. Yes, I mean that. Sometimes people get way too caught up in trying to train, and it's important to remember it's just a video game. So if you get heated, go outside and touch some grass. Anyways, that's it. All of the things you need to get low tier 3 in your next vanilla test. If this helps in any way, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any additional questions or want a chance to get free coaching from a low tier 2 in Crystal, join up my Discord. Hopefully, this guide gets you one step closer to low tier 3. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.